of Richard the Lionheart, Le Cœur de Lion, Richard Le Cœur de Lion. And we're about almost an hour now, kind of west of Trignac, and we're headed towards Ségur le Chateau, which is a lovely village that I remember vaguely from many years ago, but I do remember it being beautiful. We're on some very windy roads here, so I'm trying to hold the camera still. But it's beautiful countryside again. The whole of Corrèze is just beautiful if you love nature. If you're a nature lover, this is a place to be. Honestly, it's the greenest, probably. They call it the green heart of France, and it's kind of off the main tourist tracks sometimes, so people bypass it. But that's what I really love about it. And there's just beautiful farms and fields and wonderful villages, some really famous places as well. So after we go to Ségur le Chateau, on the way back, basically from there, we're going to be stopping off also in Pompadour, Arnac Pompadour. So anyone that knows anything about French history may have heard of Madame Pompadour. You may be familiar with that name. She was the lover of one of the French kings. I don't remember which one it was. I would have, when we get there, I'm sure it'll be written there and I'll be able to tell you. But he built her this beautiful chateau as a gift, as they used to do. And we're going to go and visit that as well. And at the chateau, they also have what's called the Haras, which is spelled Haras, National, which are like the national stables, which are part of the chateau complex, if you like, from the ancient times. So that's where we're headed at the moment, through this beautiful countryside, and I will show you what our destination is once we get there. We're very, very close now. Oh, there we go. I do remember it being, it's not a big place, but I do remember it being so pretty. So we're just driving down. Look at that gorgeous valley. Can you see that?
In 500 meters, the destination is on your left.
Yeah.
Ségur le Chateau.
It's one of the plus beaux villages de France. Can you see that, darling, over there? It's just gorgeous. I do remember that it was very, very picturesque. I hadn't remembered that it was l'un des plus beaux villages de France, one of the most beautiful villages in France, but now that I'm here, I do remember how pretty it was. So it was definitely worth the hour's drive to come, that's for sure. So we'll be finding somewhere to pop our little Fiat 500 to park and have a beautiful stroll. It's a lovely church. I'm sure there'll be somewhere to park on the square. It's only a little sleepy place, maybe next to the big van outside the church, perhaps. That looks like as good a place as any, perhaps, in the shade. Très bien. Lovely. So the river is running really wildly down below. I can't remember whether this is still the Vézère or not, or whether we're now on the Dordogne. I'll have to have a look. But it's a really fast running river I can see down there. There's a lovely house down below. This is the beautiful church that we've just parked in front of. But the main part of the village is further down. But it's such a pretty, pretty place. And oh, look at the colour of that sky today. Hallelujah for blue skies. So here we are. It's so pretty. We're just getting down now into the main part of the village. Oh wow, look at this place over here. So when you see the woodwork on the buildings with the render in between, in French that's called colombage, which kind of in England they sort of have Tudor houses that are like that, so it might be a similar period. But there are some beautiful old buildings in this village. It's just stunning. And we're just getting to the heart of it now because we've parked right on the edge up near the church. So lots more to see indeed. It's beautiful gates going into such a pretty house. It's against the sun there, so I'm sorry if you're not seeing everything. Oh, look at the little chicken, isn't that sweet? Oh, and look at this place up ahead, David. Look at that house up ahead. Gosh, it's so tall, isn't it? That is such a big place. It's a massive house. Look how far back it goes. That's a really big property. And you've got some lovely, that looks like a lovely little restaurant there. Cafe Resto, so it's a cafe as well. And bar. I'll just move to one side again. We're on little tiny streets here. Beautiful. That's a good spot, darling. I'll just try and come and show you this one here. David's telling me to look up to the left. Oh yes, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful turrets. Gosh, that's all higgledy-piggledy, that one. It's not perfectly round at all, and its hat looks like a witch's hat. It's quite funny. It looks like something out of Harry Potter.
Hôtel, enfin le grand hôtel. Là, celui-ci, c'est l'escalier en forme de...
That beautiful building that David's sitting in front of, and the carving on the windows, above the windows. Can you see those beautiful carvings with the little tiny crests? The front door as well. He's just decided to sit in the sun and catch a few rays. David's not 100%. Well, he is. He's well. He's just extremely tired. We're finding the eating and drinking very tiring because we're just not used to it. So it's taking all of our energy cells out of us. It's kind of sapping us, isn't it, darling? But it's all good. It's all good. I just can't get over the size of this place. It just seems so massive. I wonder what it's like inside. How interesting. Okay, well, and I'm not sure how we get through to the older part if we just continue down. I think we do. Well, when I say older part, excuse me, it's all very old. There's nothing particularly new about it. They've got old black and white photographs here on the walls of when the village, that looks like early 1900s. You think 18? 19. Oh, look at that. There you go, see? Oh, 1900s, I was correct. 29 March, 1913. There you go. And then we have a lovely little auberge down here. Another little bar and inn. Lots of very, very pretty buildings. Oh, I'm so glad I decided to bring you here, darling. I just remembered the name and I remembered it was really pretty, but... Oh, I always found somewhere to go. Hang on to your hats. All the old stone walkways here. David decided he wanted to come around down the back here. Oops. Oh, there was a lovely car park here, David. We could have brought the car all the way down.
Look at this.
Wow.
That's a view.
That's so pretty.
The walls at the top.
That's so pretty.
Yeah.
Not the car, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mean the car. That was just a Citroen. David means what we've got up ahead. Isn't this just picture perfect? It's so pretty. So we're under the most enormous trees. I think these look like oaks, I think. Yeah. And the water is running so fast in this river, as I said. Beautiful picnic spot along here. I just said to David, a gorgeous place to come on a hot day and sit along the riverside here. There's a lovely breeze, of course. Well, it's a bit chilly today, but... And all these beautiful, beautiful homes and buildings. More gorgeous homes there, also with the ancient colombage. And then above you have all the ruins and the walls of the old chateau. Oh, look at that turret on the front of the little tower there up there. Yeah. Another gorgeous place here, all along the riverfront here into the bridge, with more of the colombage. And oh, so pretty, the river further down with weeping willows hanging over it. It's just picture perfect, isn't it? What a pretty, pretty spot. And there's a lovely little restaurant just here that we just walked by, and I said to David, the only thing is we need more food, like we need a hole in the head. but you kind of are drawn to these places because they look so inviting, because it's so pretty. That place over there looks like it would be another Perhaps another restaurant or inn with a lovely covered terrace there as well, which would be equally as gorgeous.
Kayaks or something.
Great place for kayaking, gosh. You'd just be carried down the river, wouldn't you?
Problem is getting back.
True, you don't want to go in the other direction. Hello everyone. I thought I'd show my face. Keeping my sunglasses on though. So we're just crossing over the river now, crossing the bridge. Oh, and there are ducks. Oh, this is just so picturesque. It's really, really pretty. We're just up. So I'm in front of the chateau area there. And oh, it's glorious, glorious. It's so lovely to be back in France. I didn't realise that I'd missed being here, but you know, I probably have in my heart because I spent so many years here, and it's lovely to be here sharing this with David. I'm so happy to be doing that.
What's the island in on the Seine in Paris?
Ile de la France.
There it is.
Isn't it Ile de la France? No, sorry. Ile Saint-Denis? Is it Ile Saint-Denis?
Across there, isn't it?
Oh, I'm getting confused now.
It's next to the cathedral, isn't it?
Yes. There's a couple. Oh, I thought there were a couple. It's definitely not that though. This is Duck Island. This is Duck Island. We will just name that ourselves. Gracious me, look at the front of these buildings. Look at the carving in the lintels of that stone. Another little figurine sitting on that bottom window there. And the front of these ones here with the colombage. What a beautiful example of architecture from that period. It's just so beautifully preserved. Oopsie daisy. I had to just stop because someone was driving past us and just coming back to show you. But look, that was that tower with the half turret on top of it that we could see from the other side of the river. Look at the height of that. I mean, gosh, when you think how long these buildings have been here and they're in such wonderful condition. It's so wonderful to see these beautiful buildings preserved like this. I mean, look at the timber work jutting out underneath that part of the house that comes forward. Those great big beams. Now, they would be huge, solid oak beams. And as you know, oak doesn't even rot when it goes to the bottom of an ocean in an old boat. So they would have been there for, these buildings.
Years, yeah.
Oh, longer. I think these would be older than that. These are probably 16th century, I'd say. 17th, 16th or 17th. The little street just here is called Chemin du Moulin, and just on the side of the building here you have one of the old millstones. So there you go. Isn't that wonderful? That would be very, very old. And I'm just going to have a look here what they say on the plaque. Sorry, I'm going to be causing shadow. I don't have my reading glasses on, but basically I can see something that says dating back to 1345. That's what I thought when David said it 500 years. Ségur le Chateau is much, much more ancient than that. I know that the buildings go way back. It says that even in the beginning of the 10th century, so the 900s, that it was already here. So without reading the whole story, just scanning my eyes over with what I can see without my reading glasses, we're talking about a very ancient township here, but you can see it was very wealthy, incredibly wealthy with its chateau. And I'm just going to cross this road. Look at this little, isn't this beautiful? Did you see this beautiful home here, David? With another little water passage that has broken off, like a little island that's broken off from the river. And look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous?
Underneath.
What, Danny?
Underneath, that's where the millstone is.
Oh, just here? Oh, okay. Wander back the other side again. Ah, yes. Yes, the mill would have been underneath where the wheel goes around. That's right. to create the action to make the millstone be able to turn. And look at this, we could hear the water rushing, that's why. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that gorgeous view back. Isn't that beautiful, the back of the buildings there? Oh, that would make a lovely photo. I must take a still of that gorgeous shadowing in the water, the reflections. Oh my goodness, David just said to me, your mum will like this one. Mum, this one's for you. A little house with a lovely turret. You always did love a good turret, Mum. Isn't that spectacular? And it's beautifully cared for. And you can see it's lived in. It's got lights on inside. And it would have beautiful views back over on the other side, just over that way to the river. Isn't that glorious? Well, every princess needs. This is just the little laneway that says it's the Chemin du Moulin, so we were just coming down to see if we could actually see anything else from here. But it's that beautiful little garage with the very bowed roof that I was photographing from the other side. The view from this side is equally as pretty, of course. Well, different, you can't see the waterfall. But that's the back of, or the other side of that beautiful home I was just photographing that has the beautiful turret that I said I was taking for my mum. How pretty. Oh, what a lovely little potager they have, David. They've got their beautiful, David's warning me not to tread somewhere. They've got their beautiful potager already. They've got it lovely, all set up. They've already planted some things. Looks like onions. And they have it all ready to go. So someone's obviously caring for that garden. How pretty is this? And then that's the end of the castle walls up there with that little, look, almost looks like a keeper's house at the end, doesn't it? But I'm not sure what that was for. I'm hoping the sound is okay for you all, because it's not windy today, and because I don't have the exterior mic. As I explained yesterday, it broke. So let's hope that you can hear what I'm telling you as we walk along. David just quoted Mission Impossible and said, now our mission, should we decide to accept, is to find the public toilet. Because we've now decided, after many, many drinks at breakfast, to try and wash out the alcohol from last night, we both need to use the facilities of the village. Somewhat of a little ruin just here. Obviously a house that collapsed. You can see the inside walls and the doorway and the window. But I was saying to David, look at that up on the hill. That was obviously another part. And this is called the Ruelle de la Forge, I think it was called. The forge would be the ironmonger. So obviously one of the buildings here was the place of the ironmonger. May have been this big long building perhaps down the bottom here. There looks like a house down here that perhaps could have been that. But more of these cute little village homes here with their little gardens, and those amazing buildings up that were part of the chateau again, up on the opposite hill. Oh, look at the lilac. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm not sure if you can get through here, but I did see some people walk this way. And then they turned downwards, so there must be an alleyway. This old building here could very well be an old forge building, because it looks like a very big old barn, literally. So, let's have a look this way. I love all the little... Oh, wow. David, I've just found the vegetable garden of my dreams. I've had raised beds before, but those ones are raised to hip height, which is awesome. You hardly have to bend over at all. And what clever people. I know it's not natural, but they've laid astroturf in between, so you never have to worry about weeds or anything else, which is such a clever idea.
Let's get into the flower beds.
And get into the flower beds as well, exactly. That's a really beautifully designed one, really. And it's a lovely sun trap because they've got the warmth of the wall coming off the stones behind. So it'll keep them nice and passively warm. And it's a lovely little sunspot just there. Gosh, got all their washing out. Awesome. So yes, this could have perhaps been the forge because it looks like a lovely big old industrial barn. And then up above you can see the roofs of and the turrets of parts of the chateau. Or it might have even been this old long building here. Who knows? Some gorgeous old buildings along here. We're just taking a little wander down to see where it takes us. I love sneaking down little baby streets or chemin, little passages, and it's like a farm in the middle of the village, literally, isn't it? Looks like it could be a dead end up the end, perhaps, but or it turns around. And more beautiful wisteria growing over a pergola up in that garden above, I can see. And holly trees. It is holly, yeah. We used to have one in our garden, didn't we, Mum? A holly tree that we'd get lovely red berries on at Christmas time in the good old days. And they're right on the river as well, so that home and that forge building, perhaps, they have the water running right past them, which normally a forge would sit on water, I think. I think they need water as well. Yeah, for the cooling of the steel and things that they're doing, so that would make sense. Lots of brambles along here. You'd be able to pick your berries in summertime. So does it end, darling, or does it keep on going? Keeps on going? Do you think we'll come out where we kind of started, perhaps? But we've just gone through a little back passage. How pretty. Okay, let's head up here. Oh, we just saw this little back alley on the front of this really cute little building. I hope you can see that. It looks like someone that's lying over the edge of the windowsill. It's so cute.
Left, right.
Look to my right. Up. Oh, gosh. David's observing for me. And this man is hanging from a wire. Well, if you want a chateau with turrets, here's a chateau with turrets, and they are some mighty fine turrets as well. They're not your little skinny turret with a staircase. They are well lived in turrets, aren't they? So this is the Chateau de Pompadour, and it's a very, very pretty place. And this was built out of love. So there you go. I just said to David, would you build me a chateau out of love, my darling? There are big equestrian centres over here, some of the national stables, and there's actually, we'll take you for a walk over there. That's where they do the dressage. A lovely cafe that we were going to sit at, but it's closed. Heavens above. And then there are lots of other stables that we drove by coming in. But let's go and have a little wander here and see what we can see and what we can find. It's just the most beautiful day. Now this chateau, I don't remember whether it did actually have a moat, but it looks like it possibly could have. Or perhaps not a moat with water, but they often had the walls and then dug down and then the higher walls. So it was still a deterrent, if you like. Look at that lovely little turret in the corner there. David's just gone to check, I think, and see, because it is... When I was here 24 years ago, there were actually no tickets to buy, but now there are tickets to buy. So we're just going to go and have a look and see, because we actually don't have a lot of time. We have to meet someone this afternoon. So we're not sure if we can do the full visit. That was the word I was spelling out to you before, that Arnac Pompadour. So the Institut Français du Cheval. So it's Institut Français du Cheval et de l'Équitation. So the IFCE. So it's the French Institute of the horsemanship, if you like, and Équitation. So look at the door. Oh gosh, I'd love one of those at home. Look at that. Oh gosh, that's beautiful. And all the carving on the stone. David, take a look at this door. Can we have this door at home, please?
Oh,
that is one front door with the...
Awesome.
You can stick your head out. Who's there?
Yeah.
Isn't that a stunner?
And then slam it shut.
And then slam it shut when you don't like them. I think I was wrong. I said Madame Pompadour, but it was actually La Marquise. And it was Louis the 15th. Louis the 15th. In 1740, between 1745 and 1760, the king gave this domain to his favourite person, if you like, the Marquise de Pompadour. There you go. There's a lovely plan of the chateau, so you can actually see those beautiful walls we were showing you from outside, and that the chateau sits plumb in the centre like that. So it was fully fortified, really, wasn't it? Well, we found out that the only cafe here really close to the chateau is actually closed today, but because they've had a death in the family. So that's a very good reason to not have your cafe open. So we've walked up to a boulangerie and thought, well, there's no one going to bother us here. And we've bought 2 very large pain au chocolat. We managed to grab a coffee. And we're just going to sit here in the sun because it's just the most glorious day. Here's David. We just took off our big coats. We were too warm. And now grab one of those pain au chocolat out of there, David, because I think they're probably the most enormous pain au chocolat I've ever seen. Let's have a look and see. All €1.20 of it. Look, that's a lovely big
Never
fat.
eat anything bigger than your head.
That's no, it's not bigger than your head, darling.
Man.
It's not, but it's a good puffy. That's someone that knows how to make that. Now that's a really good pâtissier. He knows what he's doing with his pastry, doesn't he? I bet that's going to be very, very delicious. Oh, chocolate! I can see the lines of chocolate. Excellent. Let's chomp in, and then we'll go for a lovely walk around the grounds of the chateau. So these beautiful turrets are on the entry to the actual Arras, from what I remember. I think I do recall this. And I'm not sure if you are allowed to... Oh yes, you are allowed to just have a wander in, which is beautiful. You can see the beautiful building at the end of the alley. So this was all part of the chateau across the road. And now there are stables, beautiful stables all over the township, because it has become the national centre for horse riding. And in particular, they do the dressage. So look at this beautiful alley here, David. Yeah. So this was all part of the, as I said, all part of the public is over this side. And as you can see, this is a beautiful, now I'm not a horse person, so I don't know what they call. Do you know what they call a dressage area?
Dressage ring.
A dressage ring, perhaps? Yeah, you could be right, darling. They have the seating along here. So obviously when they're having competitions, they have all the seating along here for people to come and watch. It would be quite beautiful to watch, I'm sure. And then the judge's hut, as David said, across the other side. So we'll just take a lovely little walk, and I'm just going to spin around slowly so I can show you those 2 lovely turrets on the entrance. Aren't they gorgeous? I wouldn't mind one of those as a home, actually. I think that would be a wonderful tiny house.
Yeah. Perfect tiny house. Yeah.
Oh, darling, aren't we lucky? We are so lucky with this weather.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous. So, we've just come up to the end now where these beautiful stable houses are, and I think you can walk inside because I saw someone go inside. So we'll definitely go and take a look at that. And there are the signs there for the Grand National. Bonjour. Grand National, so the Grand Nationals, if you like. So really, really important competitions would occur here. David was saying, I wonder if they hold part of the Olympics, but we're way too far away from Paris. And also, even though this is the national centre for horse riding, etc., the thing is that it's still quite a small town and it wouldn't be able to house the numbers anyway, so that wouldn't be a possibility. But you know, they have I noticed they have great big tents set up over here as a restaurant, so they do obviously have, you know, they might do things like, they might do world championships or some things that are slightly smaller perhaps, but it's really beautiful. I'm just going to turn around and show you. I'll turn the camera around and show you. These are linden trees that I had in my garden, and they're all in flower, and it's just magnificent. Look at these beautiful trees. So can you see they have these wonderful white flowers that almost look like bunches of upstanding grapes and they have little pink and yellow tinges to them, and they're very, very, very pretty. Oh, it's beautiful being here in spring. Okay, so let's go and check out these wonderful stables up here. As we come up to these beautiful buildings, there's actually another performance ring, if you like, also in the centre of this lovely courtyard, if you like, between all of the stable buildings. So let's have a look and see if we can poke our head in here. I did see someone go in here. I think many years ago I came here by memory. Let's have a look. I think we can. Oh, yes. Now, for all you horse lovers out there, you are going to love this. So these are the ancient stables. Look at this beautiful building. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. There are no animals in here at the moment, and I think that's why we are allowed to wander through, obviously. I think now we came by just on the other side of the chateau. We actually drove by some more modern buildings that said they were the stables, and I think now perhaps this is more of a historic building that you can wander through. And you'll probably find that the horses and things are now kept in the other part of the newer stables. But once upon a time, you can just imagine.
5 sides.
On both sides, that's right, there's 2 rows. So we're walking down one side, and then there's the identical thing on the other side as well. So we'll come out the back because I can see some beautiful buildings at the back here as well. It's a massive complex, a really large complex. Oh gosh, look at that tree that's all in. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful tree there that with all the red leaves. Can you see that? Let me zoom in for you. Oh, how beautiful. That's like autumn colours, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So we're now at the back of that quadrangle, or whatever you'd like to call it, and then there's another huge building along the back that looks like more again. I'd say that's more stables again. And then obviously more buildings along here. There's actually, oh, there's a sign. Let's see what it tells us on the sign. So you've got the equivalent through there of where we've just walked. Box, forge, infirmerie. Oh, so they have a horse hospital here, in other words. So if you had injured or sick horses, that is also where they do the forge. So that would be where they do the shoeing as well. And Rang de Lange, I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'd say it's probably that longer building perhaps along there. And then back here we have, of course, now I've just realized the word. I think you call it the same name in English. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a horse person, but there's the word manège, and I think they call it a manège, or a menage perhaps. Menage, yeah, in English perhaps. So the word is manège in French, and it comes from that. And you also have the hippodrome, which is also what they call it. So there you have it. So we'll wander back down to the entrance again. Unfortunately, we can't take you through the entire chateau. We're going to just have a little wander around the walls. But it was about an hour and a half tour, and we don't have the time this afternoon. We are really, really happy to have seen what we've seen, and David's loved it. And we loved the other little village we went. Sorry, I had to just walk out of the way. But yes, we just don't have the time, unfortunately, to visit the whole place because it's really, really big. Already just walking around here, you know, takes... Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm going to just interrupt myself.
Jumping area.
So you have the obstacles and jumping training down the bottom there. And I'm just about to run out of battery on this phone. So I'll have to jump onto David's phone. We're just inside the Chateau boutique. So if you're into horsey things, this is the place to come. I'm telling you right now, a lot of horsey things. Oh gosh, how lucky. I'm whispering because I don't want to make too much noise, but there's someone in here on training. How wonderful. A young girl. Isn't that wonderful? Let me just zoom in for you.
Elle n'est pas facile, je trouve, parce que ça secoue, hein. Oui. Franchement, elle est facile. Avant, parce que tu commences à avoir le coup.
Well, once again, a pleasure for all you horse lovers. That's the actual massive hippodrome with all of the obstacles. Isn't that wonderful? And they're very, very well kept, obviously. Just beautiful. And it's directly opposite the chateau, so you could literally be in the grounds of the chateau, cars going by, sorry, on this beautiful big terrace and watching the horse racing or the horse events, if you like, the equestrian events from there.